Okay, part two of the trip up the Boyne Valley. We're actually now at Glassford Creek, where the copper smelter was, and just behind me here, actually Ron's just over there. He's going to tell us about it in a minute. But there's a chimney just here, and you can see up through there, and there was one further down. But what we've got here is actually the furnace. Now, Ron, obviously this opening here.
Yeah, well, it's basically collapsed in there, but the furnace would have been fed with timber in those days, and plus they would have made their own charcoal.
All right.
So, and they would have had temperatures around 1000 C, which is needed to process the copper.
1000 degrees, wow. So that plug down that...
Yeah, the plug down the bottom there, that's what we call a tapping hole, and that's where the molten material would come out. But how they got it out of there was they used to plug that with a big clay block and then drill a little hole in it with a crowbar about the size of a Coke can, the end of a Coke can, and then the molten material would come out, and that would contain copper and gold, and that would come out and they'd put it into pour it into ingots.
Yep.
Yeah, and then horse and dray send it away.
Back out that track we come in.
That's exactly right.
So we've just been over this. What do you call this part here? Where beyond the car here?
Well, this is where when they shut the furnace down, of course they broke out all the molten material, and what's happened is it's a mixture of copper and slag, but it's spread over this entire area here.
Yep.
So this entire area is, you can see the colour of copper in it, it's got silica in it, it's got various other materials, but this actually came out of that furnace when they shut down. It's so special, this entire area, it gives you an idea of the amount of activity that went on here.
Oh, it's just incredible.
And the slag runs over the edge of this bank here. And they also would have used slag to hold the bank together so the rain didn't wash it away on them. This would have been an area of intense activity and extremely hot.
Oh, extremely hot.
Yeah. There's a boiler visible just through the trees over there. So they used steam power in those days a lot, and you can, boiler's just coming into view now. And there's concrete footings there just near the tree in front of the boiler, and that would have been the footings for the boiler.
Oh, there's the boiler in the trees there.
Yeah. Yep. So, so this whole area here was about mining and the production of copper and gold.
So, retainer wall, even the Gladstone Regional Council will be proud of that one.
Yeah. Well, it's lasted a long time.
It has. So what year are we talking? We're actually talking the late 18th century.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
The 1890s.
Yeah.
You have a look in here, you can see where the tubes would have run through those round holes, so that would have been full of tubes. Yeah. And of course, the fire in there would have heated the water in those tubes to produce the steam. The chimney's still on it.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah, and look at the fig growing around the original brickwork.
I was looking at the fig there. Isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So all this is still here in a testament to, you know, the 1890s obviously weren't quiet periods. Periods of intense activity. And about 1,500 people lived here, school, pubs. There's a mango tree down the road where the pub was. We could sit under there and have a beer like they used to.
Well, you wanted a metal detector.
might find something there, you never know.
Oh, you never know. It's just fascinating. Look, this is just up the end of the Boyne Valley, okay? Just past many peaks, and you go up the range further, and you go through those tunnels that we were talking about before. But it's just fascinating. You do need a four-wheel drive to get in here, though. It is not a you must have that ground clearance, because some of these, what do they call them, wallops,
all-wheel drives might struggle a bit. Yeah. You will need a 4B, but it's not a tough trip.
No, it's not tough. No. I think at times if Glassford Creek has actually got water in it, it might be a little bit difficult for some people, but those avid four-wheel drivers, you'd really like it up through here. And great places to camp and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Pop up and have a look at it.
And a national park.
In a national park, Boyne Valley. Hooroo.